So let's do a small recap about serialization. So serialization means what? That is the process of converting an object state. What is a state? The variables that we define in a class is called as what? State. I mean the variables and the values that you define in a particular class is called as a state, right? So converting the state of an object into a byte stream. Byte stream is what? Zeros and ones. The machine understandable language. So this will be taken care internally, but this is what that would happen behind the scenes. Okay. So after the conversion, it would be stored. You can either store it in a file or database, or if you want, you can send it over a network. Okay. So this is called serialization, and the reverse process is called as what? Converting the byte stream back into an object, or object construction is called as what? Deserialization, right? Usually when you want to make a class to get eligible for serialization, you need to ensure that the class is implementing the serializable interface. Okay, it is a marker interface. Do you have any idea about what is a marker interface? Anyone?
No, sir.
You get a question like this, very simple, answer is very simple. Any interface with no abstract methods, it will not have any methods. Simply it is an interface with no methods. It is called as marker interface. The usage is like it will give the special it will give the special functionality to a particular class that is implementing this interface. So serializable is one of the interfaces. When a class is implementing serializable interface, that class is going to get the what it is going to get? It is going to get the additional benefit. You call it as what? Serializable object. If you want, you can do some research on this. Sometimes they ask this question: what is a marker interface? Okay. So now we know what is serialization APIs. And these two are the classes: object output stream, object input stream. We will understand about this in the future classes, and we know what is a transient keyword. Okay. Today we will understand about the rules. The one thumb rule is there for Java serialization. Important rule. What is that important rule is? Objects are deserialized in the same order in which they are serialized using object outputs. I will explain it with a small example. So let us say that I am creating, I have three objects. The first object is what? Student object. Okay, and second object is, let us say, college object. College. And the third object is, you have something like, for example, I am taking it as the library object. So I have three objects, right? I want to write all these three objects. I want to do the serialization for all these three objects. Right? I want to do the serialization for all these for all the three objects, and I have to. My intention is to put in a file location. Okay, through the process of serialization, I want to do this. In the file, it would be stored in the same order. When I say same order, the order is what? S1 object, C1 object, and L1 object. Yes or no? Do you agree with the order? Do you agree with the order? How the objects are created? What is the order
Yes,
of the
sir.
object? S1, C1, and L1, right? S1, C1, and L1. This is the order of the object, right? And this is the file location. Let us say abc.scr. So this is serialization. Okay, if you are deserializing it, if you are doing the deserialization, right now, so till extra days class, okay, the day before extra days class, it spoke only about one object. Yes or no? Do you agree with that? We have seen only one object, right? Have we seen any mixture of objects? No, right? So today we are talking about the multiple objects of they are different in nature. Okay, if you do the serialization and if this is the order, and you also have to do the deserialization, which has to follow the same order, which means, okay, as a developer, I must do the deserialization for the S1 object first, second C1 object, third L1 object. I need to abide by the rule. This is the rule. Okay, if I just violate this rule, for example, if the violation would occur when you say, when you deserialize the C1 object first, and but you cannot do this because according to other S1 C1 L1. But if you do this, you will get an exception. Have you understood about the rule? Yes or no? You will see this in the with small example. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let us focus on a small Java program. Okay. Let me say uh, we will go we'll go with the same example. Okay. Let me take three different classes. One class is what? The first class is student class. Okay. And the second class is what is the second class? College class. And the third class is library class. Okay. So three classes we have. So student, I'm taking two attributes. So student could have a name and student could have age. Okay, for the college also I'm taking two attributes, college name and college location. And for the library I am taking only one attribute, which is what? Whether the library is opened or closed. So I have three different classes, isn't it? Now in the main method, okay, so how do you put the object into a file? How do you do the serialization? By using which class? File input stream, yes or no? Input stream or output stream? Come on, I mean, think and tell me how do you put the object into the file? Input or output? File output stream.
Output.
Output stream. Output, you are transferring the object, right? You are transferring an object to an external file, so it is file output. File output stream, yeah, FOS equal to new file output stream. I need to give the location. Okay, for the simplicity, let me delete the existing one. Inside this, so inside this location, inside this, location is like D drive files. I want to create a file by the name of student with the extension .scr. Okay, and it is throwing an exception. Let us throw this to the caller method, which is JVM. Okay, now what is next? Object output stream. Okay, OOS equal to new object output stream. Okay, so I would be using the reference variable of the file output stream. Again, it is throwing an exception. So let us dedicate it to the caller method. Let us delegate it to the caller method. So after this, I need to, write the object into the file, isn't it? For that, what I will be doing? OS dot, what is the method? Write method, right? Write object method. Write object. So which object I want to write? For that, I need to create an object here, right? So I have three different classes, right? Student, college, library. So let me create an object for these three classes. Since I want to create an object with the variables, okay? I mean, I want to do what? I want to initialize the instance variables. I am taking only the constructor. File source generate constructor using this. For all the three classes, I am generating the constructor because I just want to initialize the values to check the functionality. Okay, and for the library also, I am creating constructors. So generate constructors using tools. So three different classes with some variables inside. Okay, let me create an object for these three classes. First one is student s1 equal to new student. Let us say the student name is Balaji and let us say the age is 25. Okay, so college C1 equal to new college. Let us say the name of the college is ABC. Let us say that the location is Chennai. What else we have? Library. library L1 equal to new library. So is the library open? Yes, it is open. So let me take the boolean values. So three objects are created. I want to write each and every object into the file. In which file I am expecting all the objects are serialized into this common file, student.ser file. Okay, so I have to use the write object for how many times? Three times. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Three times, no? Write object, write object. First time, the student object is getting serialized. Second time, the college object is getting serialized. Third time, the library object is getting serialized. You see, if you want to see the order, if you want to check the order is like student, college, library. Okay, this order will be considered. You may be messing up with this object creation. Okay, this could be different. While creating object, it could be in a different order, but at the time of writing the object into the file, you have to consider this order. Okay, S1, C1, L1. Are you getting this? So because of this, can I say this
Yes,
is
sir.
how the order is going to be in the respective file? In our case, it is what? Student.scr. Student, student.scr. This order, right? Okay, after doing this, so we want to do what? We want to deserialize it. So this is first is the process of serialization. Okay, and I want to do what? I want to do the deserialization. For the deserialization, what is the uh, class that I have to use? What is the class? Here, file output stream. It should be file input stream now.
Yes, sir.
File input. File input stream. FIS equal to new file input stream. So we are going to use the same location here. This is the same location. Let me remove the additional backslashes. Okay. Then what is it? Object input stream OIS equal to new object input stream. Okay, which will be expecting the file input stream, reference of the file input stream. After this, what is the method that we have to read an object from a file? The method is very simple, right? We have to read an object, right? Read object method is there. Yes or no? Read object. Right? So what is the order? Order is what? Student, college, and library. Yes or no? Firstly, I need to do what? I need to read the student object. I need to, because student object is getting deserialized first, right? Okay, it has to be typecasted accordingly. Right? It will throw an exception. Cast not found exception. Secondly, the college object. C2 equal to OIS dot read object. Okay. So here it is of what type? College type. I need to typecast it. The third one is what? The library object. Library L1 equal to L2 equal to OIS dot read object. Okay. It has to be typecasted to library. So now I have I'm getting hold of the references, right? So S2 reference. I mean, look at the order: student, college, library. The same order that we follow during the serialization, right? Student, college, library. So orders are matching. So after the deserialization, after getting the data from the file, I just want to print the details. Okay, like S2 dot student name plus S2 dot age. So I just want to give print the details. So here you have what college name and the college location. C2 dot college C name, C2 dot C location. Okay, the last one is what? Is the library open? Is in open state or is in closed state, right? So L2 dot is open. It will give us whether the library is open or closed. Now tell me, will this work or not? Do you see any errors here? Tell me.
No, sir, no errors.
So it should work. Huh? What about others? Balaji, Dinesh, Lakshmi. What about others?
Works, sir.
Are you sure, everyone? Okay. Let me run this. What we are getting here? What are you getting?
We did not implement
That's
serialized.
why I asked. Okay. Every object has to be what? Every object has to be the serializable object. We have to do what? We have to use implement serializable. We need to implement with the serializable interface. So you have to do this for all the classes because all the classes are participating in the serialization, right? Ideally, we need to do this for all the classes. So our objects now will become eligibility. When they become eligible for serialization, and after running this code, are able to see the data is getting extracted. Okay, what happens if we just mess with the order? When I say messing with the order, example, if I just remove these and put it over here, there is a problem, right? As per my definition, I mean, as per the Java definition, look at the important point that is mentioned. What is important point? Objects are deserialized in the same order in which they are serialized, right? Don't you think that there is a violation here? Yes or no? I'm
Yes, sir.
trying to do the deserialization reverse order, so it is a kind of violation, right? What happens if I do that? You're getting what? Java.lang.class cached exception. Why you are getting class cached exception? Very simple. Okay. At the time of deserialization, firstly, okay, it will give you the information about the S1 object. Firstly, S1 object information will be given. So the process of deserialization is collecting the S1 object from the file, but it has found that, okay, you are doing the typecasting to college. The object is student object here, okay, but you are trying to do the typecasting to the college. So casting is not happening because both are of different type. Student is different type, college is different type. That's why the exception itself will says that what is that? Class cast exception. Able to follow? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So this is one of the ways where you can do this deserialization, like following the order. Following the order, you can do it. If you do not, if you want to do it in another way, in a better way, what you can do is you can collect the details. You can collect the details. So when I say details, so OIS dot what is it? Read object, right? Read object. Read object is a method. The return type of read object is I said on the other day, which is what the object itself, the root class. This is a root class for all the Java classes, right? Super class of all the classes, right? So let me use a variable as details. So now the return type is what? The details. I mean, our return type is object. I am storing it in what? I am storing it in the object type. Okay. After the storage, what I am doing, okay, there is something called, okay, I am just checking. I'm using the if condition. I'm just checking if details instance of. Do you know the instance of operator? I have discussed about this instance of operator long time back. Anyone remember this instance of? If it is instance of student, okay, the details is instance of student. Okay, you just typecast the details to the student type and assign it to the student variable. Student. So for example, let us say that you have a situation. Okay, see, this is the order. So this is how the order. Okay, let me run this. Let us see what output you are going to get here. s2 dot name plus s2 dot Balaji 25. So let us say that instead of student, you are using the college here. What is happening? You're not able to see anything. So again, don't you think that the rule of the order is being broken here? Rule of order is being broken here. So what I'm trying to do here is, so firstly, I am trying to check the first. Okay, the first rule is I'm just checking whether the details. Okay, whether the order of the details is student or not. The first order of the details is student or not. This details is nothing but all the objects are collectively stored in the object type. Example, if I go back to the if I go back to the paint screen, here you have S1, right? This is order. One is order. Okay, now focus here. So you are collecting everything into the object type. Okay. So we have student class, we have the college class, we have the library class. We have three classes. The mother object class is the super class of all the three classes. So this is the takeaway. This is object class, this is the object class, this is every class indirectly extending to the object class. Okay, so at the time of deserialization, everything is collected as an object. Even S1 is collected as an object type. So it is getting returned as an object type. After returning it as an object type, you are typecasting it to student and extracting the actual values. And again for the C1, it is returning as an object type. After collecting it, you are typecasting into college. And L1 is returning as an object type. After typecasting it, you are typecasting to library and getting the exact values. So this is what happening actually. So instead of hard coding it, what I am doing is I am assuming that everything is an object. Okay. Firstly, according to order, I am following. What is order? If details is instead of students, okay, extract the student details. Okay. Else, second one. If details is instance of college, okay, then extract the college details. College C2 equal to okay. At last, you have another else else if the details is instead of instance of library, extract the library details. After extracting it, you have an option to print the, if you want you can print the college name, and if you want you can print the details variables that you have in the library, only to check whether the library is open or not. If I run this piece of code, okay, so this is this is same like the before thing that we have done. Before thing we are extracting the, we are just extracting the object individually. We are extracting the object individually, but here we are just checking if this is following this order. What is order? S1 C1 L1. Okay, you are extracting student here, you are extracting the college here, and you are extracting the library information here. Okay, but at any point of time, so since you are using if else, if this many if and else, okay, At any point of time, if you have the if else if ladder statement, do you agree that only one statement will get executed at any point of time? You know this?
Yes, sir.
If you are checking a logical entity inside if else if else if else if, at any point of time, either one of these has to get satisfied, yes or no? Any point of time, even one of these has to get satisfied.
Yes, sir.
But here you are using if else if, okay, if elif like that. Definitely, we know that we are abiding by the order. That's the reason why first time it is executing, since the order is matching with this with these lines of code. Okay, we are trying to extract the student information. The first thing is matching. It is as per the order. So this is getting executed, and the remaining things are getting skipped because of this else if and else if condition. Right? If you do not want to skip that, okay, like instead of doing this, you can also do this. Okay, but the problem here is, firstly you are extracting the details, and this is getting initiated, and the remaining things are getting skipped. Instead of doing this, I can do like I can take the infinite while loop, while and place the condition as true here. Now you see, you're getting end of the file exception. Forget about this. We are not handling this exception. If you want to handle that, I can use a try block. The runtime exception. End of the file is a runtime exception. Catch. Let me say catch block. Catch block. Yes, by yes, block. Now, if you see this code will make more sense. While is always true. While is always true, and we are placing this complete statement in a try block. While is always true. Firstly, read object is extracting the student information. Firstly, okay. So this if condition will get executed. Done. After this, again the control comes to the while loop. Okay, second time, what is order? Second time the order is what? College, right? College, because first information is already extracted in the previous while loop. Second is college. So that is the reason why college information is getting extracted in the second term. Okay, after executing this, again, what is the third? According to other, what is the third class? Third class is what? Library, right? Library. Okay, after entering the third time, the library information is getting executed. Okay, and again the while loop. But the problem here is it has reached the end of the file. Only there are three available objects in our particular file. It will be reaching the end of the file. So once it reaches the end of the file, it raises an exception called EOF exception. Okay? This EOF exception will break the while loop, because this while loop is part of the try block. So catch block will catch that, and it will print the message what end of the. So this is the actual way to understand that order has to be followed completely. Making sense? But if you are not using while loop, the remaining part of the if else if ladder statement will be skipped, because at any point of time only one block will get executed, and the control will be coming to the end of the main method. That's the reason why you were just keep seeing the student details, because since it's matching, but it will not throw any exception here, because exception is suppressed by this particular instance of operator. This will be returning false. That's the reason why it is not going inside. You can avoid exception here. Okay, so to understand this, you need to understand the instance of operator. I've already described what is instance of operator. To check whether the parent class and the child class has a complete relation, that is called as instance of operator. If the relation is existing, Okay, the block gets executed. If there is no relation, the block will not get executed. Okay? So just try to replicate this. You will get complete out of it. The next topic is next one is the same thing, but I will give you a bit elaboration. I will give you some important insights in the next topic. So I want you to understand about the object graph in serialization, one of the very important topics on the in the interview room. Object graph in serialization. So if you go by the theory, you will not understand anything. I will help you with a small example. Let us take the same example. I do not want to give any example. Same example let us take. But here, okay, what I want to do here is, so you are a student, you are a student, you have a name and you have an age, okay? And student, they also, they get affiliated to a particular college. They are mapped to a particular college. What you are doing, you are placing the another class information in the current class. The student is the current class. Inside this, you want to place the college information also. So name is okay, very straightforward. Age is okay, okay. But here, instead of taking a simple variable, you are taking a complex variable, which is of you're taking a class type. You're taking a college type, right? And if you just look and see the college, again the college has college class as college name and college location. It's a complex variable because this complex variable again gets divided into two values, which is what college name as well as the college location. Likewise, inside the college, okay, if you go to college, definitely there will be a library. Inside this, you are placing something called the library class. Okay, again inside library, you will just check whether it is open or not. So you have what you have an information of another class in one class. If you see, student class has information of college class. College class has information of library class. Library class has some simple information, which is whether it is open or not. Okay, so now let me generate the constructors for this. Let us say that I am generating the constructor. Okay, source generate constructors using field generator. Okay, I am for college also I am generating constructors using fields. Generated for library also I am generating a constructor. So three different classes. If I just want to create objects for these three classes, if I just want to create an object for these three classes, so how I would be creating? Okay, firstly, I will be creating library L1 equal to new library. So library is expecting whether it is closed or open. Let me say library is open. I want to specify that by using the boolean value true. Okay. Next one is college. Let me create an object for college. College C1 equal to new college. Okay, this college has college name, right? You have college name is ABC, and you have the college location, which is Chennai, and this college also has the reference of library, right? You see, college name, college location, and the reference of library, right? For that, it is expecting the reference of library class. So I want to pass the object reference of library class, which is L1. Are we clear till now? The complex objects. If you want to map a value of a complex object, this is how we can map. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. So likewise, I am creating the object of student. Okay. But if you see the student class, you have the variable. I mean, you have the name variable, age variable, and again the complex variable, which is college. Okay, name is okay. Name we can directly give something like biology, very straightforward. Age is also okay, right? And the complex, the third constructor value, the third parameter of the constructor is what? The college object. So I'm passing the college reference here. Right? And if you just see the hierarchy, if you want to imagine this, okay, let me say, so this is the These are the information. This is how the objects are created, right? So first object is what? The library object. Inside the library object, what is the value that you have? Only one value, right? It is open. Is the name of the variable, and what is the value? Value is what? True, right? And this is what reference? This object is of what reference? L1 reference, isn't it? L1. L1. After this, what is the second line? Second line is college C1 equal to new college. Okay, for every new keyword, an object will be created. But if you see the college class has again three variables. Okay, one of the variable is what? Name of the college, right? C name equal to, which is ABC. What is the second one? C location, which is equal to 10. What is the third one? And again, you have the information. You have an asset relationship, right? You have an information of another class, which is what? The library, right? What is the name you have given? Library equal to L1, which means, okay, this is pointing to what? This is pointing to this L1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the last one is what? The student object. Okay. Student, what is the reference variable? S1 is the reference variable. Now, S1, what is information that you have here? Okay, you have the name of the student. Okay, in our case it is Balaji. You have the age, which is what? 25. You have what? Again, you have the college information, right? College equal to C1. You are referring the another object inside the current object, right? So if this is the C1, this is the C1, okay, and the college and the student class is referring the C1. Okay, can I say that S1 is the root object? Hello? S1 is the root object because
Yes, sir.
I can call it as root object just because my root object is holding a reference of another object, which is C1. Okay, and my C1 object is holding the reference of another object, which is L1. Okay. Now you see a network of object connected from the root object. Yes or no? S1 as C1 and C1 as L1. Right? So can I say that this is the network of objects? One of object is having the information of another object. So this is called as what? This is called as an object graph. This part I am referring to as what? Object graph.
Is it like associations?
Yeah, definitely it is like one-to-one association. Internally, it is following as a relationship. But idea with respect to serialization is, let us say that what if I want to use the write object method? I have an option to pass only S1 reference variable. Yes or no? I can just
Yes, sir.
I want to write this S1. I want to write the student object into a file. I want to place the student object into a particular file. Let us say that student.scr. Now you tell me, if I just place S1 object, since S1 object is a root object, which has the network of objects, S1 has C1 connection, C1 has L1 connection. If I place only S1 object, now you tell me, do you think that C1 object will also place or L1 object will also place or not?
Yes, sir. Everything will be
Everything
printed.
will be placed. And also tell me, if you are placing S1 object, do you want to explicitly serialize the C1 object as well as L1 object, or serializing the S1 object is okay, or if you want to serialize these objects also? Can you tell me?
Don't need.
No, okay, this is our understanding. Means we are thinking that okay, S1 will be taking care of all this. So that is our understanding. Yes or no? Let us say, okay,
Yes,
let
sir.
us understand this. Even I am not sure. Let me say, even I am not sure about this. Okay, let us do this together. So we are what? So now we have an object graph. So let us say that this is an object graph, right? 1 minute, guys. So this is an object graph. Okay. So with the help of what? With the help of serialization. I want to put this object graph. I want to put the S1 object, especially the S1 object, into the file. Okay, and I want to do the deserialization. I want to check, right, if all the objects are getting deserialized as it is. So this is serialization. So this is deserialization. Yeah, and this is the file of student.scr. Okay, so let me do a small change in the location. Okay, I will delete this. I will delete this. Okay, now, so Sudhir said, only student object serialization is equal. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us try to understand this together. We have created three objects. So what is the thing that we need to show? File output stream, no? File output stream, FOS equal to new file output stream. So you need to give the location here. Okay, let me quickly copy and paste the location. The D drive and the files folder. So I will take student dot student.sr object output stream OOS equal to new object output stream FOS. So I want to write an object. I want to write the student object, right? Student object. I want to serialize student object. Internally, student object has the network of objects till the library. So what I can do is OOS dot write object. Write object. So I want to write which object? S1 object. So write S1 object. Internally, S1 is taking care of C1 now, and C1 is taking care of L1. So all these objects are going inside through S1. Yes or no? You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
But which one is serializable object here? S1, only S1, right?
Yes, sir.
Remaining objects are not serializable. Okay. If I run this, if I just see what would be, are we getting any exception in the command? What we are getting? It says college class is not serializable. You are trying to pass the student object, but the student object is internally depends on the college object. But college object is not serializable. So don't you think the college object has also some data? This data will also be internally serialized inside the file. Serialization is required for these values also. No?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
as per the conclusion now, we need to do what? We need to do the serializable. We need to ensure that the internal objects or the what we call it as the network of objects are also serializable. Just if I run this code again, we will get an exception now because library class is not serializable, right? Yes or no? Now see the exception.
Yes, sir.
It says library class is not serializable. Which one? Library class. Okay. What I want to do? No matter if you are passing only one object reference, even though it has connection, it has the network of objects connected internally. If you are just passing the root object, in our case, it's student object, the root object. The internal objects, okay, the network of objects should also be the serializable, or else you will get this exception. If I run this code, no, you're not supposed to get any exception. So you don't see anything in the console, but the exception is over. That's all. Okay. Now you tell me, I will ask you one more question. So if this is the case, string is a class, no? Can I say string is an external class? Some again, string is a class, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If I open string class, I open the declaration, see string class is also serializable. That's the reason why you are not getting an exception. You could ask me now question. What question? This integer data type is there now. This is primitive or class type? Can someone confirm? It is primitive or
Primitive.
Primitive. So why we are not getting any exceptions for primitive? Okay. For primitive data types, the Java library is taking care of serialization automatically. If you are using the wrapper type, that wrapper type, okay, or the class type, that class type should always be serializable. College type you are using, it should be serializable. Okay, instead of using int, if I use integer, this is a wrapper type, no? This is a class type, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If I open this, is it extending to serializable? So it is extending to number. Okay? It's extending to number here. You see number is extending to serializable. And its grand parenthesis, one or the other way, there is a connection for serializable. Yes or no? Through the IRQ.
Yes, sir.
At the end, there will be a connection for serializable. So if the parent object is serializable, definitely the child object is also serializable. No? Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, if you take any, for example, what I can do here to understand this better. Okay, let me say I have the class A here. If my class A is extending to student, I can 100% say that 100% I can say that my A class is what? My A class is the serializable class, because indirectly student is implementing serializable. Okay, there is no constructor, that's why you are getting this. Forgot about this. Because when the subclass is implementing a parent class, if the parent class is serializable, the subclass will also get an eligibility of serializable. Are you getting? That is what happened for this integer. Okay. Let us say do the same thing for boolean. Boolean is primitive. We take boolean. Okay. Let us see the declaration of boolean. Boolean is also implementing serializable. Right? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for primitives, if you get a question like why it is not applicable to primitives, for primitives, internally the Java library is taking care of primitive types. There is a method called write int method, something like internally there is a write int method that is going to take care. For boolean, for example, for long, write long method is there. Some internal methods are there inside Java library. For primitives, it is taken care. But if it is a class type, it should be what? It should be implementing serializable interface. Okay, now this is okay. We have understood this. Let us try to read the data. Okay, we have to do what? We have to read the data now. For reading the data, what is the class we have? Input stream. No, deserialization. Input stream FIS equal to new file input stream. Where you want to read the data, you want to read the data. You want to deserialize it from. You want to do the deserialization from this file. Let me copy this location. You get additional black slashes. Remove that quickly. Okay. What is it? Next object input stream OIS equal to new object input stream FIS. What is the method I have to do? Read object method, right? OIS dot read object. Read object. Okay. Read object. What is it? Student. You want to read student object only, right? Because you have just perform the serialization on student object, so you just want to read the student object. But the student object has internally information about college as well as the library. That's all. Right? So this is what deserialization is. How you are getting the object graph as the deserialization. The object graph is going into the file and it is coming out to deserialization. And if you want to read the data. Okay, so you have the reference of what? You have the reference of S1. Through S1, okay, I can read up to the variable is open. How is it really possible? Okay, how to get to is open variable? First, if I want to get to is open, I need to get access to what? I need to get access to library, right? Is open, I need to get access to library. Okay. If I want to get access to library, I need to get access to college. I want to get access to college from S1, I can get now. I can follow the same logic now. Hello. Example, system.out.println s2 dot s2 as college information, right? But this college has what information? Library information, no? This library has only one variable, which is what? Is open. Okay, if I just print this, you have to think that from the root object I'm able to travel through the networks and able to get the extract value of the of the deep object here. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Let me say, if I want to get the information about the college location, CLOC is what? Chennai. Okay, this is part of what? The college object. College object is contained inside the student object, right? So from S1, okay, if I get access to the college variable C1, through C1 I can get to CLOC, right? Same thing I can follow. S2, here S2, I'm sorry, this is S1 reference at time of deserialization. So I have taken different references here. S2, this is S2. For deserialization, this is S2, C2, and L2. Okay. Then the name S2 dot, you have inside S2 you have college, and if you want to get the name of the college, you can just get C name. ABC college. You want to get all the information? Very simple. Let me say, okay, I just want to get student details. Student details. How we can get the student details? Only extracting the student information. S2 dot name of the student plus, okay, concatenation S2 dot age of the student. Okay. If you want to get the college details, how can I get? We have only one access to only one reference, right? We have access to only one reference. S2 dot college dot college name plus S2 dot college dot college record. We have access to the college details, and we have also access to the library details. The question here is, we are getting all the information through only one reference variable, which is the student reference variables. Through students, we are able to fetch the college information and as well as the library information, just because we have access to what? I mean, because of the object graph. Object graph is what? The root object, okay, gets connected to another object through a network of objects. System.out.println is library open. Okay, plus where is the library? Inside S2 you have something called college. Okay, student is going to college, and inside college student is checking if the library is open or not. If I run this code, student details, college details, ABC Chennai, library details is library open. Okay, now go back to the theory and see what is an object graph. An object graph is an entire network of objects that can be reached starting from the root object. Is it giving justification now?
Yes, sir.
If without going through all this, if you simply read this by definition, okay, it will not make any sense, right? Really, you won't even understand this, even though it is one line of code, even one line of statement, right? In other words, when you serialize one object, see, this is the main part. When you serialize one object, Java automatically serialize all the other objects that its references and the objects, those references, and so on. Okay, this connector structure is called what? Object graph. This is what object graph. But you need to ensure that all the related objects are serializable by nature. Making sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you might be getting doubts for the previous thing, instance of operator. I don't know why you are not answering that. I have taken this already. Instance of.
It returns Boolean value. True or false.
Correct. It returns Boolean value. You will ensure that if the child class is really an instance of the parent class. I mean, you will ensure that if there is a relationship between these two. Okay, so I have also used this series of if, else if, and else if. Okay, but at the time of deserialization, okay, when at least you should follow the exact order like student, college, how the objects are serialized, the same order you need to follow. Library. But here you will get only one mapping here. Any point of time, if you use this code like this, the student will go here. That's it. This remaining else if will be skipped. It will not participate into this. The remaining object will not participate. In order to do the participation, we can use the infinite while loop. Okay? As soon as the object reference will reach EOF. EOF is what? End of the file. It throws an exception. In this way, you can get information about all the objects with respect to the same order. Just see this video, you will get this. That is very important, the thumb rule. Okay, the reason why I am telling this, people will forget this at the time of interview. They will not give priority for this. This is very important. Serialization, the order is important. And this is what the object graph is, and please ensure that for object graphs, all the participating objects should be serializable. Any questions here?